here we go. We got game number 1 of our next series now. Going to be coming at you here again, starting a little bit earlier today. So, due to the previous series finishing up quickly, in fact, Bad Monkey Gaming defeating the same Reason Gaming team here, 2-0 and taking care of business there. So now Reason Gaming still looking for their first victory here in the group stages of Cycle number 4. And they're going to have to try to get it against Fresh. Fresh, a completely new, fresh roster here, you could say. So, Pro Busk, once again, as you notice, if you weren't here this weekend, he is the captain. He's here, of course, with the team, but everyone else, pretty different. We got different guy, Bunny Lover, Teltook, and Slaske, of course, coming over from different teams throughout. So they showed on Sunday that they can definitely win some games, taking one game that they happen to play in there. So we'll see how they fare against Reason Gaming here. So with that said, though, again, I'm joined by co-caster today of Near from Evo Corporation. Welcome back, Near, from your break there.
Thank you, Reggie. Right off the bat here in the banning and draft phase, Architecture gives away the Tremble again. He does get his Ophelia, and looks like a X-Sync lineup here with the Rhapsody, Ophelia, Pebbles. So far, dual mids, Ophelia into the jungle, and now they need another Initiator and maybe something carry-ish to follow it up. So a good lineup over here, but they did give away the Tremble though. And they have a Moira too, so that's a lot of gang potential from those 2 heroes from a far away distance.
Yeah.
Catch you out of nowhere.
We saw in the earlier series, they did that in Game 1 against BMG. They got steamrolled, really. Now, as you pointed out, I mean, that wasn't because of Tremble necessarily. Frankly, could have been any carry here on probably the same result. But still, it's giving up Tremble in general. It really just seems a little, I don't know. But, yeah, Archtucker is a great Ophelia player, so he gets his hands on that. We'll see how that works out. Looking forward to it with the Pebbles and the Rhapsody. The Midas, Tremble, Moira, those strong combo over there. As far as the next tier of bans, what were the initial bans, by the way? I didn't even check those. Swiftblade, Magnus, Revenant, and Parasite. So Probus taking out Revenant. That's kind of interesting. We didn't even see him appear in the last series. I don't know if he knows something that we don't, but I guess taking out an interesting hero there.
Definitely.
That's reason, but... the next band, there was Oogie, Doctor, Malachi, Cthulhu Fawn Puppet, and Legionnaire coming out here. So now, 4th pick, is Behemoth still there?
Surprised by a Legionnaire ban as well. The Elephant, Doctor, Repulsor. I mean, who's going to play Doctor if you already have the Tremble? I'm not really sure. So it's interesting bans, I would say, at least. Probus focusing on all the carries that he thinks is going to be a nuisance to him. Yeah. The grin. Yeah. Are they going to give him a bottle again?
Oh, yeah. We saw that on Sunday. Was that the game they won? I'm trying to think
that was
now.
the Defiler game. He had a good start. He was, Axis Prime was not that good in the early game, and that was basically what they wanted to achieve from that. And I think they also killed him. So, I mean, it was successful, but, I mean, yeah, also a long game, and they came up short in the end. They could have won 2 games there 2 days ago, I would say. They could have swung in their favor. It was very close.
Yeah, it was overall a pretty good day for them, exactly. They did lose 2-0 to Sync, but as you pointed out, yeah, they definitely could have split that one. They did split against BMG earlier on in that day. But yeah, as you're getting, in case people weren't tuning into that match that we were talking about here, they did pull a bottle to Grinix off the bat in their game against Sync Esports. And I mean, he came through. He got the Bloodlust kill. Different guy. He plays it very well. It's a very comfortable hero for him, and one that takes advantage of getting a snowball start. Of course, he does a lot of physical damage earlier on in the game. So fun to see a different style hero here in the hands of Fresh in this case. So, you know, Probus kind of taking over that captain role here. I think that has a lot to do with it too. And with the new roster and everything, it's like just get people comfortable heroes is really a good strategy. So, hey, that happens to be one.
So because they haven't played a lot of competitive, some of them. So just giving them what they like to play and what they are comfortable with. I mean, that's usually better than picking something that you think might have a better synergy. But if it's not played as well as it should be, then, I mean, getting comfortable heroes that you can play well, but it's not maybe in the favorable lineup might be a better choice. So, yeah, I understand it. They go with Silhouette here on the decent side. It's an interesting pickup, because usually what happens with Silhouette is you go late game and you split Burst a lot with it, and you have 600 TPM, as we have seen time and time again. But Ophelia is a hero that wants to push early, and the same with the Pebbles. So it's a bit of a kind of split idea of their heroes and where they are actually strongest throughout the game.
Interesting there. We do see Tempest, the final pick for this Legion side. So they did get the jungler in the end themselves. You mentioned the Silhouette coming out for Recent Gaming. And again, Marcus Moy has history playing that as well. So speaking of just comfortable heroes, it seems like there is a bit of that kicking in here on their side too. Kurt Svensson was, wow, that was definitely, okay. So it's going to be push. All about the push here. I mean, you already have Ophelia Rhapsody, so that kind of brings that to the table. But the Pebbles almost seems out of place then. That's the case.
Are they going to man up then? Because you don't really have a Suicide hero on your team. I mean, Silhouette's a tree grabber, but you don't want to Suicide a Silhouette. Of course, she needs the farm. And I'm really intrigued. I'm surprised, I would say, to see Belphegor Ophelia. It's a lot of push. But Silhouette doesn't really contribute to that. So,
yeah,
not really sure where they go for that. Maybe it's to secure some kind of late game and just take an early lead, some more early tower gold, and they have Silhouette farming their side of the map, and maybe they are strong enough to sit on the enemy side of the map with the last 4 heroes. That could be an option, and then try to starve them and get some more items. Not do the YOLO push, but more like a smarter push throughout the game. Not feeling like you're on the clock at all.
God, you know what I would have liked to see instead is, I was double checking to make sure he wasn't banned, but Warbeast I think would have been fantastic here for this Hellborn team in place of the Pebbles, to kind of go with that idea a little bit stronger.
Yeah,
the battle
or even instead of Silhouette.
Or even instead of Silhouette,
Sure.
Exactly. But
gives him a little bit of late game potential. It can solo bottom very easily. They can put the Pebble Smith to have the free farm there, and then they can short lane the Belphegor, and he can do well too. That would have actually been quite an amazing strategy.
yeah, and it's really interesting that, yeah, it makes you wonder, did Recent Gaming, did they pick their first 3 and then kind of just have a change of heart, like when it came to the final pick or something like that, or because it really feels like that they could have made it a lot stronger for this ultimate push. Now at the same time, I mean, Belphegor, Ophelia, Rhapsody, those 3 heroes alone are gonna be insane push. So not to overcomplicate this, but it seems like they could have been a little more efficient in terms of going all out for that if they really wanted to.
For sure.
That's the point here. But we'll see how it works.
Yeah.
Always fun to see
Since
some
they
Belphegor.
yeah, their lanes are going to be a bit weak. If one guy starts to die in one of their lanes a couple of times, it's going to be very hard for them. But if they manage to stay alive, they don't have to dominate their lanes. If they can stay alive on the Hellpoint side, I think they can do quite well. But offlane Belphegor is not a comfortable spot for the Belphegor, especially because he's going to be or he's going to be against the Suda tri lane here.
Mm-hmm. No bottle on Grinix. I think Tempest a little bit different when it comes to that.
For sure. They had Ophelia there. Ophelia can't jungle without items. That's definitely possible. And also, since you can ferry yourself some mana pots and whatever, it's very easy for you.
Ooh, Grinix going to
scout out Ophelia.
out here. Yeah, he's going to do a little bit of damage to Ophelia. Say hello. And then quickly, act like he's falling back. There comes the Revward. Look at that. So Revward, is that actually blocking the camp?
No, it doesn't. It's just outside.
Range. Okay.
But I mean, placing the Revward there already, it's kind of maybe a waste if you're not getting the kill.
Yeah. I don't know if he thought that he might have warded up there. That's possible. So he's already trying to take care of it. But yeah, now that you mentioned that, they did add this whole grass here that you can see where you need to pull it out and where wards would block it and stuff. So.
Yeah. And actually, where he's hiding right now, it's not possible to scout in there. If you walk past it, you cannot scout in that particular hiding spot. So you're completely on, no one sees you at all. And when you're hiding right there where Grinix is, it's a nice niche spot. If you stand to the left there, they can see you, but not right there. It's a special spot.
One that you know well, apparently. Yeah, that's interesting. We do see a lot of these heroes, like a Madman, or the ones that are going to be going for the pull like he does here, kind of stand in that spot. So that's definitely some great insight there that would be why. So pretty popular spot amongst the top tier players. So Grinix does get the pull off, as we see him bringing it all the way around. Not much they could have done against that. Means we're going to have a 2 versus 1 middle to start here, though. Rhapsody Pebbles versus the Midas. Midas known for being a tankier hero, though. So I wonder how this is going to work here. Try to secure farm and pebbles, I guess.
Yep, I like it. If they can secure farm and pebbles and Silhouette, they're still securing farm and 2 heroes, and they have a jungle Ophelia. So if they can win 2 lanes and then come out with an Ophelia to push, it's gonna put them in a good spot. It's really gonna come down to if Belphegor is gonna die down here, how he's gonna fare, because I don't see him do well in this lane. It's really not happening. Or shouldn't, at least.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the strongest suicide hero. I mean, he is tanky, I guess, and Regurgitate allows him to heal up, but...
Does hit level 2 here. That's quite good. I mean, Moira's not the best zoning support in the game here. It's actually quite awful at it. So, yeah, he is managing to get the levels. It's good for him.
Why is Moira bad at zoning, would you say?
Just low auto attack damage, low HP, so it's just not as powerful as something like an Luna. Luna also has faster attack animation, and attacks per second, whereas Moira's very slow, 0.69. I think Luna's like 1 point, or at least 1 a second, so it's just better.
Yeah.
Just to name another one. Of course, Luna is probably one of the most powerful ones. Rhapsody is also really strong.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's able to hold his ground pretty well. He is level 3 here, in fact. And you see that heal kind of kicking in, corpse conversion. He's 6 charges of it currently. Going to spawn the corpses right here.
Tempest double damage.
Oh boy, that's scary. Here comes a stun. He throws out the Regurgitate, trying to go for a turn kill. Heal up a little bit as well, but he's being blocked massively. And he's going to go down in the end. Now the creeps do stay around, of course. And do not underestimate those creeps. But I think Moira is actually going to be able to escape right here. So, meanwhile, actually, there was a kill in the middle lane. Just noticing that Midas went down. Slosgate playing it there. So, Teleslook did get credit for the Bloodlust kill initially. But they counter-kill Midas in the middle lane. So, good job there.
Yeah, good rotation for both junglers here. Realizing that the Tempest is against an offlane Valsagor, I mean, you can punish that quite easily. And Ophelia gets the Skeleton King, able to set up an easy kill mid when you have triple stun basically with that Skeleton King. So nice kills onto Midas here. It's really needed for them to get this Pebble snowballing here.
Top lane, Silhouette going at it with Grinix. Look at Grinix though, a lot of damage. One more. Oh, the Death Lotus! Wow, I thought that was for sure Marcus Moore dying, but no, he gets the kill instead against different guy. That was something.
Oh, that was close, man. I did not catch that from the beginning, but man, huge for Silhouette there. I mean, if different guy had netted that kill, it would have put him in a very good spot. Also being able to roam mid and set up kills with Midas alone. So, but no, the other thing happens that Silhouette gets the kill here. Now puts him in a harder spot, and Silhouette 350 GPM as a result.
Yeah, now you see different guy. He's going to be gank attempt again. In comes the dust, so they're going to see him through the Rift Stock right there, and that's a kill. Talk about a complete momentum boost here for the Hellborn team. I mean, it was literally one auto attack from being completely different here at this top lane. And now we see Silhouette getting two kills back-to-back, in fact. An assist for that one, but still, she's starting to snowball now.
Good roam from RD Trigger. I mean, it really shows why they Fusion decided to ban Ophelia against them here. I mean, he's doing work on that hero. 2 rotations already, ending 2 kills for his team. It's good for him.
Huge start here. Different guy, of course, going to keep hitting back up here. Understandable, but not the start that he was looking for. Already only 145 gold per minute now. Again, could have been completely different if it was just getting that auto attack off and got the kill himself. But that's not the case. We got to go with what actually happened. And he did die, and he had died again because of that.
Hasted Rhapsody top. He has it in the bottle and the dust. I mean, they might go for another kill here.
Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely a dive. The dust comes out. There's the staccatos. He will throw the shadow step on a Rhapsody, but it's not going to matter. It's just too much pressure. Minotaur's stun got in there as well. Ophelia takes a lot of tower damage, but she's going to survive. Meanwhile, middle lane Pebbles, he is going to be fine, but different guy, it's got to be frustrating now. He's 3 deaths within the span of 2 minutes here.
I mean, he could have been the one at 300 GPM. Instead, he is now 0-3 and 120 GPM. And this is where it's hard to really adjust, because he was so close to the kill. So but at this point, you really have to play safe now and play very careful, and not underestimate the damage from Silhouette. I mean, you're level 4 now, and she's level 7, so you need to play very safe. Just get the levels, and then try and roam it when you think you have the kill there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those as a teammate here, you know, if you're on the Legion side and fresh here as a teammate, you're kind of wondering, like, man, 3 deaths, what is going on up there? But really, not that he's playing it bad, it's just they're playing it much better, and they're playing it very well at the top side. But, you know, with that said, Tremble is doing pretty damn well down here, 380 gold per minute. Tempest is having a hell of a time too. 360 GPM. Teltic. I feel like Teltic is definitely one of these kind of hidden gems as a jungler. He's been around the scene for a long time, but has never really been on a big team that's been well known and done very, very well over time. So, but just definitely a solid player.
He definitely is. He knows what he's doing in the jungle as well as anyone, I think. Even Slap and Tanker, I mean, he does it as well as them. I watched him yesterday too. He seems to always have the 300 to 400 GPM around that mark. At least when he's in the jungle, he knows his rotations, mid lane.
Back and forth here. Pebbles, the Elemental Void's going to be used. You see Rhapsody, she already used her Staccato. Can't save Pebbles right there. Down she goes. Boris, in fact, nets Rhapsody. I think she's just a little too far, and yeah, we'll be fine. But they got the important kill on a Pebbles. That's what matters. Good use of that Elemental Void to secure it. And good rotations once again.
Definitely worth it. And at this point of the game, you just want to use that ultimate to net a kill if you can, at any point. Even if it's only on one target. He almost caught the Rhapsody too. At least he aimed to do it, but he managed to get out of there. So, yeah, good kill. And that's much needed onto Pebbles, who is gonna get out of control if they don't get it.
So we saw Balfagor earlier, he got level 3, ended up getting ganked though. He's only level 4 since then, so clearly things have the pace has changed a little bit here. Now he might hit level 5 as he's got a creep rate pushing in, but what this gets to as well is actually middle lane. We could possibly see something, Boris. No, just harassing. Again, Balfagor, Rhapsody, Ophelia. Okay, they are going to go into Rhapsody. And is it enough damage? Yes, it is. Well played there. Using both the Illusion and Boris right there to dive the tower. I mean, that's a very powerful strategy, of course.
Yeah.
Accomplish it.
I commented it, I talked about it in the drafting phase, but it's really hard to deal with. It's so much global presence almost with the Moira spawn, and so Boris just running around. You can't really deal with the Boris. You can't kill it or zone it. It has Helm of the Black Legion in it, so top lane.
Action doesn't stop. Loving this game already. Critics top lane. Whew, just out of range. That would have been his 4th death. He does manage to survive right here, but the tower does go down for reason, so they do get a victory out of it. As Marcus Moore here on Silhouette. Now 410 gold per minute. Does get the Energizer delivered on top of the Ghost Marcher. So obviously looking good there. However, he may need to be careful. Does have a ward of sight to see Midas coming in, so he is going to be fine. Has that information. Again, so back to Balfagor, Rhapsody, Ophelia. This is a trio of just mass push here. Is there like a timing? Does Racing Gaming really need to? I guess that's where this lineup does kind of come into play, that they're not necessarily all in on that strategy, as Balfagor is dead.
Problem is they haven't really laned it, so that they're gonna be able to push, because Balfagor is now 140 GPM 0-2, and he's not really doing a whole lot as it is right now. It makes you wonder if they really should have picked that up if they want to do some hard push, or even had Silhouette, because Silhouette just wants to farm, and he's doing that up top, and they did get the top tower. Now they're going for the mid. So I think as soon as Balfagor hits level 6, they will try and push a tier 2 towers, though. That might be an opening window.
Oh, TP support coming in. They want to hold this. Nice deny to start it off. Teltic with that. The Elementals are out. Pebbles gets caught. He goes down. Net on a Rhapsody from Boris as well. The chase is on. Maybe a port, or no, or I was going to say a port in somehow, but ain't going to happen. So she gets ported back, in fact, and it's going to be fine. But here comes a counter push now. So with the tower being denied on top of that and now a counter push, I don't know if the Hellborn team's going to be able to do anything against this. Balfagor's running in. He's only level 5 still, though.
Pebbles can manage the TP in here. I think they can fight this for sure. With the Ophelia creeps, it's very strong right now.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely going to defend against that creep wave. Doubles is up here. So Silhouette is nearby. She's kind of farming in the jungle for the time being. Doesn't want to waste time, but if a fight does break out, you can guarantee that she'll be rotating over. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. Yeah, they don't end up pushing the tower in the end. Was a little too much to handle, so good hold there.
Balfagor does hit level 6, so they could try and go for a tier 2 here if they really want to. It's definitely an option. I mean, Silhouette went for the Energizer, so I'm assuming he wants to group up with them too, since he picked that up instead of something like an All-Stone.
Yeah, interesting, actually. I wonder if he's going to see a check right there to kill the creep wave, but I wonder if he is going to go kind of a different build overall as Marcus Moy because of this lineup. It's just Nullstone Portal Key is such a good combo on the hero, I feel like, so it'd be interesting if he passes that up for the sake of the lineup, but at least getting the Energizer now, as you pointed out, for the stats here. Are they still going? I mean, I guess they can, but
so, yeah.
as you pointed out, Silhouette wants to farm, so she is going to go elsewhere for the time being.
Yeah, she does put her illusion up. I think she's just counter pushing a bit here, so and then she's able to swap back in. But it's only level 1 illusion, so it's only for like 15-20 seconds. She has that window. Midas is very good at counter pushing, so it's gonna be tough for them. But I think they'll net this tower here.
You are in an interesting spot if you're the Legion side here, as they are going to charge in, though. More Arcane Vortex. Did it catch anyone? I don't think so. Or maybe it did at the last second. There we go. The Elemental one on top. It's not going to be stopped. That's going to be the combo they're looking for. Eventually is. Hell on Earth comes out, but Tremble still one alive with that Thunderclaw. Down goes Balfagor. Rhapsody falls as well. Everyone's still alive for the Legion side currently. Down goes Midas finally, but the damage being done. Tremble's dropping it below half life. Silhouette's caught, however, as Grinix and Moira on the chase, and so is Tremble. Silhouette, not much mana. Here comes the illusion. Going to cut her off, force her the other direction. In comes a Shadow Step, and down goes Silhouette. Pebbles trying to get a turn kill. He's sticking around a little too long, though, and now he's caught. He's probably going to fall right here. Rhapsody porting in. Oh, it's just going to be enough. Boris chasing Protective Melody against Boris to save the day, and will at least keep Pebbles alive. What an end to the fight, but it's safe to say that our Legion team and Fresh coming out on top there.
Also, amazing fight. I had no idea who would come out on top until like it finished. I mean, I'm not really sure who did, but it was an amazing fight. Huge tempered hole, and those that were not caught in it, Greenwich managed to stun 2 of them, so they had nothing to cancel it. But then the Hell and Nuev comes out, and right after, it was a huge fight. I mean, it was not too bad for either team, but I still think that if Hellborn side is able to pick up an Astrolabe and something like a Barrier Idol at some point, they have the Plated Greaves now in Belphegor. If they can manage to get the Astrolabe on Ophelia, they can go for the tier 2 top, and even tier 1 bottom with tier 2.
Yeah, again, Tiltic denying yet another tower right there. So I do think that has to be pretty crucial, especially against a team that, you know, is pretty reliant on getting these tower kills and the credit for it earlier on in the game. So, if anything, maybe that's just enough of a boost to push them ahead. As middle lane, though, Grenix, he's setting up for a flank. Going to jump on a Pebbles here. Shadow Step did not stun, though, and he is going to get away as a result. They did get the easy tower kill, though, there, too, so... Good momentum continues for Fresh. 3,900 goal lead and a 7,100 experience lead. So look at, obviously that is a downside of getting a team that's going to be relying on grouping up and pushing earlier on. Their experience is going to be nerfed because they're constantly together. So we're kind of witnessing that here. This game. Silhouette. Oh, she gets caught actually. The Illusory Assault, the Shadow Step. He's trying to get the real one, and they will. Well played between Grinix and Moira right there. My camera got messed up a little bit, but caught most of that at least. Finds a free kill.
Definitely deadly combo. Now Grinix can scout out and Moira can spawn as well. There can be a Boris too to scout it. Even then the kill, and Tremble can be there too. It's very hard for them to farm alone if they do not have the map control. And when they're behind in golden experience like this, they obviously do not have the map control. So it's definitely a bit rough now at this point.
See bottom lane, Tremble, he's hiding around. It's a Balfagor Rhapsody. He's not really concerned about getting killed here, I'm sure, but they are going to start grouping up to push the towers, so we'll see again what kind of hold our Legion team makes. They've lost 3 towers already, but remember, 2 of those were denied, both of those in the middle lane. Let's see if they try for another one. But Tremble is already out of there, though. He has ported to the middle lane to farm it. Meanwhile, Slaske getting credit for the top tower kill with Tempest here as well. Looks like they're fine with a counter push for the time being. And again, you know that inevitably that you're going to be having to sacrifice at least something against this massive push. But hey, if you get a tower kill in return and possibly now a secondary tower kill, it's still very well worth it. So they're almost out pushing them right here at this top side.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tower kill.
In this game, we can't say Tremble could be any carry to win this if they manage to do so, because it's doing work here. I mean, I think it's gonna be banned next game. I can't see why not. It's a very strong hero, and this has been roaming and ganking with the boys as well as free farming bottom or initiation.
Yeah, they catch Pebbles right here actually with the Arcane Vortex. Grinix coming in. He does have his Illusory Assault, waiting for more backup. Whatever that TP was that canceled, I think that was Tempest right there. Yeah, he was in a bad spot. Pebbles will jump in. He catches Tremble. Actually, Silence comes out, pops the Shrunken Head, though. And look at that turn. In comes the Protector Melt. It's canceled immediately, however, as Gridix jumped her in the background. Hell on Neuwirth going to be used right there, but they're on the run now. Marcus Moy, meanwhile, he gets caught, and he will fall in the end. Fresh, another big hold. The tower's even, okay, it is going to be killed in the end, but that's just a very, very, very minor victory. And ultimately a huge one battle here for our Legion team again. So Fresh is continuing to get further and further ahead here as they're winning these fights. And it's showing in that Golden experience, definitely. And Tremble, yeah, as you were just pointing out, I mean, obviously the farm's looking very good. He's a big presence here. I think the biggest thing, too, if you're going to pick a lineup that's somewhat push-heavy, banning a hero like a Tremble because he has the capability to join fights so quickly, hit like a Silhouette, like a Sand Wraith, are good bans definitely to make.
Yeah, it is. It can be everywhere at any point of the game. I mean, he has mounts all over the map as it is right now. He can jump to wherever he wants. And I have to say though, if you're gonna jump Tremble like that, you have to stun lock him and make sure he dies, else he's just gonna pop his Shrunken Head and win the fight for his team, as he did right there. Pebbles jumped him, but there was no one else with a stun, so... I mean, Sulet doesn't have a blink, neither does Rhapsody, so... You can't jump a Tremble like that, unless you're maybe ported back by Ophelia, and then you're trying to bait it out, and your team runs back after, and you can TP bottom or something, as he's getting caught mid.
Yeah, catching that the whole time, really. I mean, just simply, speaking of Tremble yet again, imports it with the Mound, assists the initial catch that Midas and Moira made, and gets a couple of kills out of it, so... It'll continue. Yeah, you're right. They jumped Tremble there, and that proved to be the wrong decision, especially with that Shrunken Head. And he was able to activate. Look at Silhouette, by the way. So Marcus Moy is definitely going a very different build here than the typical Silhouette. Going now a Nullfire Blade as well. And
I'm not sure why she's getting it. There's nothing that really stands out that you want to purge to me. I'm not really sure.
The Moira illusion?
No, you can't purge that either.
That doesn't. Oh, that's you're
illusion.
right.
You
yeah.
can't, if you sheep it as well, it gets sheeped. It doesn't remove it. So
that's true.
It's a special illusion. So it's there's nothing really. It just stands out to me that you want to purge. Can you purge a Midas stun target? I don't think so.
I think so. I don't see why not.
Maybe. Might be a special kind of stun.
There is a jump here in the middle lane. Protect a Melody, but it's going to be canceled by the Elemental Void. He pulls all three of them in. Now, not the most damage here for the Legion side, and that is kind of showing. They still get the 2 kills out of it, but now they're on the run. Ashlimpio on a Tempest. He's going to be fine for the time being. Grinix chasing down Pebbles in the background. Wanted to try to finish him off, but they're doing all this without Tremble, as well as without Midas, who wasn't even here. So, again, the fact that they won that fight without those 2 key heroes is pretty important. And now here come the 2, and they easily kill Pebbles as they catch him. I think Reason gave in, and in fact, there we go. GG, well played. Realizing, yep, it didn't work. So the lineup again proved to be kind of funky here for the Hellborn side. It was kind of an in-between lineup of ideas.
I have to agree with you when you said if Belphegor was a War Beast, it would make sense, or if Silhouette was a War Beast. But he picked Silhouette and then Belphegor. I mean, it was very weird. So yeah,